Hello, friends. The following is an excerpt from my latest book, National Park Mysteries and Disappearances, Volume 1, The Great Smoky Mountains National Park, from the chapter titled Of Wild Men and Feral Cannibals. Now, for decades, tales of mysterious people inhabiting the deep woods of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park have persisted. These range all the way from reports of hairy wild men to entire families or groups of inbred feral cannibals. For some theorists, shall we say, these wild feral people are said to account for the unexplained disappearances in the national park. In particular, they've been blamed for the disappearance of young Dennis Martin, the 6-year-old boy who vanished near Cades Cove area in June of 1969. A cryptic YouTube channel named South Force 10 elaborates on this theory and even claims to have inside knowledge, stating that some of his relatives in the area were hired by the government to hunt these people at one time. Even retired park ranger and legendary tracker Dwight McCarter, who was the lead in the Dennis Martin disappearance and many others during his long career, admit that there are wild men who live deep within the recesses of the national park. Some claim that these wild men are, in fact, the cryptid creature also known as Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Now, there have been Bigfoot sightings throughout the whole of Appalachia, so if the creature does indeed exist, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park would be the perfect area for it or them to inhabit. The Cherokee have legends and stories of these, what they called hairy giants, who were already inhabitants of the land before the Cherokee came into the area thousands of years ago. Other people claim that these wild men, some say that they're wild women and children too, are not Bigfoot at all, but rather inbred and untamed humans that have lived their entire lives deep in the woods. They dress in animal skins, hunt and forage for their food, build their own shelters, and so on. Naturally, they don't take kindly to strangers and have been known to kill any interlopers who dare to enter their secret domain, whether by accident or design. And they've been known to eat them as well. Yes, that's correct. The rumors and legends and tales from the dark hills and hollers of the Great Smoky Mountains, as well as other parts of Appalachia, these people are not only isolated, inbred, and demented, they lean towards cannibalism as well. Although the average person might tell you that this is preposterous and there's no way humans, even wild, hairy, inbred ones that have the occasional craving for human flesh, could hide out in the mountains undetected, I counter with this. Have you ever been to the Smokies? Now, I'm not talking about Gatlinburg or any of the touristy areas. I'm not even talking about the myriad of trails that run through the park, which are hiked by millions of hikers every year. I'm talking about deep in the woods, really deep. There are places off trail that it's possible no human has ever set foot, not even the settlers or Cherokee or possibly even Bigfoot, if he exists. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park covers over 500,000 acres. Let that number settle in. 500,000. 522,427 acres, to be exact, as per the National Park Service website. Unless you've been in those deep, deep woods, where there are no trails, no markers, no anything other than you and the forest, it's almost impossible to comprehend just how vast this wilderness is indeed. Now, the ruggedness of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which sits on the border of eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina, in fact, it's almost evenly divided between the two states. It has to be not only seen, but experienced to be believed. It's in these giant old-growth forests, so far away from civilization, that you begin to realize just how small and infinitesimal a person is compared to the wilderness. There's no wonder people die out there, especially those that are ill-equipped and ill-prepared. Now, I said all that to say this. There are plenty of places, truly an almost innumerable amount of places, that a person or even a group of persons could hide out for an indefinite amount of time. If you had the basic rough necessities, food, water, shelter, which are all in abundance here if you know what you're doing, there would be no reason to ever leave these woods. Case in point, Eric Robert Rudolph, also known as the Olympic Park Bomber, successfully hid out in the Nantahala National Forest, which is a 533,000-acre expansive wilderness in western North Carolina and along the Appalachian Trail heading toward the Smokies. Rudolph managed to elude the FBI for 5 years, and was only caught in 2003 because he left the forest and was rummaging through a trash dumpster in Murphy, North Carolina, outside a grocery store, where he was spotted by a rookie police officer who recognized him from the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list. Now, if this man with only what appears to be minimal survival skills managed 5 years, imagine the skill set of someone who has never left these woods in their entire lives. As a possibility, it must be considered. Recently, in January and early February of 2021, the internet virtually exploded with a sudden flurry of YouTube videos with theories concerning ongoing tales of feral people in our national parks, forests, and wilderness areas. Also, on the social media platform TikTok, a user named Ariel released a chilling video about a strange incident she had personally experienced at or near the Big Bend National Park in West Texas. In the chilling video, which quickly went viral, Ariel claimed that while camping with her family, they proceeded to spend one night in the Basin Lodge. It was during this night when her story takes a strange twist. Late into the night, Ariel says she began to hear screams from off in the distance. Now, amidst these bone-chilling screams, she also states she heard a woman screaming, "We're going to die.
We're gonna die.
And also the words, "I love you. Just know that."
I love you. Just know that.
Ariel also says she heard what sounded like a child screaming, "Mommy," as well as adults yelling for help, and someone pleading, "Call a ranger."
Call a ranger.
Now, Ariel notified the park rangers and the police, but to no avail. Supposedly, they found nothing out of the ordinary. The next morning, Ariel states that she made further inquiries about the astonishing incident. However, park rangers as well as park employees claimed to have absolutely no knowledge of what she was talking about. Ariel's video opened the floodgates, and other users of social media began sharing their own personal experiences regarding strange happenings in national parks. While there are, naturally, no official reports or documentation at all to back up these wild claims, the stories persist. While the previous encounter doesn't necessarily point toward feral people as the culprits, it does fuel rumors that many hideous and unspeakable things that happen in these national parks are covered up, either by the Park Service, the government, or both. Some theories even claim that these wild, feral people were the reason that the national parks were created in the first place. A place where these people could be contained and kept away from regular society to prevent attacks on innocent citizens while letting them live out their wild, feral lives. Still, other theories claim that these feral people are not actually people at all, but rather, as we mentioned earlier, some type of Bigfoot or Sasquatch, or perhaps, if you can imagine it, even a Bigfoot human hybrid. Now, there are some First Nations stories, which they're reticent to talk about, of course, that some of their women did mate with these hairy beasts from the forest. Now, this harkens back to the stories of places like Ape Canyon in Washington state, where in the 1920s, miners claimed to have been trapped in their cabin and attacked by a group of what they described as hairy ape men. In the 1800s, near the Glastonbury Mountain area of Vermont in what's known as the Bennington Triangle, a stagecoach had stopped due to the road being washed out. While attempting to dig the coach out, the driver noticed large bare footprints in the mud, much too large to be a human. Suddenly and without warning, a creature leapt from the surrounding woods and flipped the stagecoach on its side. Now that took some power. The frightened passengers claimed that the beast peered into the windows, then screamed and ran off into the woods. The creature was later described as large, black, hairy, standing over 6 feet tall, and walked and ran on 2 legs. So, what are these weird inhabitants of our national parks? Are they Bigfoot, feral, cannibal humans, or some strange combination thereof? Whatever you believe or don't believe, that's up to you. But stay alert and stay safe next time you're out there in the woods. Take precautions, take protection, take a friend, but live to tell the tale. I look forward to your comments on this video, but we do ask that you please be respectful of the opinions of others. Until we have some solid research and answers, one opinion is just as valid as another. If you'd like to read my latest book, National Park Mysteries and Disappearances Volume 1, I'll leave links in the description. Thank you for your support. Until we meet again, be good to yourselves and each other. I'm Steve Stockton, and I'll talk to you next time.